Hello everyone, thank you for being here and welcome to lesson number 4 of A Course in Miracles. These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place. Unlike the preceding ones, these exercises do not begin with the idea for the day. In these practice periods, begin with noting the thoughts that are crossing your mind for about a minute. Then apply the idea to them. If you are already aware of unhappy thoughts, use them as subjects for the idea. Do not, however, select only the thoughts you think are bad. You will find, if you train yourself to look at your thoughts, they represent such a mixture that, in a sense, none of them can be called good or bad. This is why they do not mean anything. In selecting the subjects for the application of today's idea, the usual specificity is required. Do not be afraid to use good thoughts as well as bad. None of them represent your real thoughts, which are being covered up by them. The good ones are but shadows of what lies beyond, and shadows make sight difficult. The bad ones are blocks to sight and make seeing impossible. You do not want either. This is a major exercise and will be repeated from time to time in somewhat different form. The aim here is to train you in the first steps towards the goal of separating the meaningless from the meaningful. It is a first attempt in the long-range purpose of learning to see the meaningless as outside you and the meaningful within. It is also the beginning of training your mind to recognize what is the same and what is different. In using your thoughts for application of the idea for today, identify each thought by the central figure or event it contains. For example, this thought about blank does not mean anything. It is like the things I see in this room, on this street, and so on. You can also use the idea for a particular thought that you recognize as harmful. This practice is useful, but is not suitable for the more random procedures to be followed for the exercises. Do not, however, examine your mind for more than a minute or so. You are too inexperienced as yet to avoid a tendency to become pointlessly preoccupied. Further, since these exercises are the first of their kind, you may find the suspension of judgment in connection with thoughts particularly difficult. Do not repeat these exercises more than 3 or 4 times during the day. We will return to them later. Okay, that is lesson number 4 of A Course in Miracles. These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see. And I wanted to expand on why these thoughts don't mean anything. The reason why these thoughts don't mean anything is because they are not there. They are illusory. In my poems, I refer to thoughts as transient clouds that seem to temporarily hide the endless sky. The clouds representing the thoughts which seem to veil eternal peace. And if you notice, just because you see a cloudy sky, does it mean that the vast sky beyond the clouds has disappeared, or that it has been limited in any way? Absolutely not. In that same way, just because thoughts arise in the mind, does it mean that boundless peace has disappeared or that it has been limited in any way? Absolutely not. The peace of Christ is ever present, right now, and it is inseparable from your breath, being the source of life itself, whether or not you believe this or not. And so, this lesson is training the apparent individual to recognize that even happy thoughts distract us from the peace of the eternal moment. And for that reason, it reminds us to be indiscriminate in choosing a particular thought for this exercise, since good thoughts are but shadows which make sight difficult, and bad ones are blocked to sight. Meaning all thoughts are equally suitable for these lessons, since all thoughts are equally as unreal as the individual mind which entertains them. I hope you enjoyed practicing lesson number 4. Please let me know if you have any questions, and see you tomorrow for lesson number 5. Have a wonderful day. Bye.